and welcome to Talk of Hope, a podcast for people affected by lung cancer. I'm Rachel Avery.
And I'm Mandy Lucas.
Each episode we'll hear from people with different experiences of lung cancer, as well as healthcare professionals who will share what's going on to improve the diagnosis and treatment of this disease.
And as someone who's had lung cancer, I know exactly how terrifying it can be. But amongst all that fear and anxiety, there is also hope. And that's what we're choosing to focus on here.
Lung cancer screening represents the most significant breakthrough in the early detection of lung cancer to date. After decades of tireless campaigning by Roy Castle Lung Cancer Foundation, it's now a reality, and we're committed to making sure it delivers the best possible outcomes. So far, the results speak volumes. In England, lung cancer screening has helped ensure that 75% of people diagnosed are caught at an early stage when treatment is more effective. Joining us today are two people who know just how life-changing this programme can be. Joynson and Susan Williams, who both benefited directly from this groundbreaking programme. Hi to you both.
Hi. Hello.
Hiya.
Lovely to have you both joining us today and to talk about, something that we at Roy Castle are so proud of. Like I said there in the introduction, this screening is something that we have shouted about, pushed, demanded for decades because we know it could work. We knew it would work, and now we're finally seeing it in action. And you two in front of us right now are living proof of what we already knew, that lung cancer screening works. So I'm delighted to have you on the podcast today as part of our series for Lung Cancer Awareness Month and our This Is Lung Cancer campaign, which is all about celebrating the progress. So how could we not have an episode on screening, the biggest step forward that we've achieved over the last 30 odd years?
Yeah.
Ian, I'll come to you first. Would you like to share kind of your experience of being diagnosed through screening, how it all came about?
A few years ago, me and my wife, Lynn, enrolled into the Roy Castle Lung Cancer Screening Programme, Asda Car Park, our local Asda, to do a test every year. And it was after about our third year, I got a notice off them that I had a very small nodule in my left lung. Never thought anything of it. They explained that what they do is little tiny nodule. It won't do any harm. Didn't think it would be. Just wait to see if it grows. What we'll do is we'll scan you every 3 months. So in May 24, it hadn't grown after my scan. August 24, it had grown slightly. And so they asked me then to go for a PET scan.
Yeah.
So I went for a PET scan and they tried to do a biopsy. But the biopsy was hard to get. It was in a difficult place. They couldn't get enough evidence. So in October 24, I went to see a lung specialist at Liverpool Heart and Chest Hospital.
It is, yeah, Liverpool Heart and Chest Hospital.
Yeah. And he advised me to remove the bottom of my left lung.
Yeah.
So I went through that. When they'd done the test on some lymph nodes, they'd taken out.
Yeah.
They detected cancer in a few, and it had mutated into a breast cancer. So then, December 24, I'd started 3 months of high dose of chemo. March 25, after a C scan, after I'd finished, I got into remission. Now they check every 3 months in the first year, and up to now, I've been okay. When they did the original PET scan in 2024,
yeah,
I forgot what month it was now, in September 2024.
Okay, it's just a load of dates, isn't it? Just milling around your head.
Yeah, when they give me the isotope, that in my lung, the little nodule was active, and my right tonsil. But they advised me to go for the lung operation first. So in June of 25, after I've done all my chemotherapy and settled down, they took my right tonsil out. Well, they took them both out actually, but that come back as all clear.
Yeah, amazing.
Just keep going back now every 3 months for my scans. I've just had one now. It's all clear, and they've told me to move to 4 months.
Amazing.
Yeah, my next scan is in January 26. I've lost dates and years have gone by.
I bet. Yeah, it's all a bit of a whirlwind of calendar dates and stuff, isn't it?
Looking at it now, you just think, wow, have we done that in a year?
What stage was it, Ian? What stage cancer did you actually have?
It was 1 at first, because the class is a small nodule.
Yeah.
1, but once it's gone and mutated into the BRAF, it's stage 3.
Yeah. So from 1 to 3. Wow.
Yeah, through, because when they did the operation, they took a couple. I think there was 4 lymph nodes in a collection of 12 what had the cancer in it.
Yeah, that puts you immediately at stage 3. That's where I was when I had mine.
Yeah.
Scary number, but look at you. I mean, what an amazing story just from screening. And I take it you had no symptoms.
Nothing at all. Used to be fit as a fiddle, ride me bike, never coughed, never been ill. Never ill. Never ill. Nothing whatsoever.
Just curious, Ian, did you smoke or have you ever smoked?
I did years ago. I smoked for about 35 years. But what the thing was, is I thought I've done it myself. I've smoked and this is the consequences. I know I shouldn't have and all like that. It wasn't a smoking cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like a normal cancer. He said that you could have got without smoking, and you think, so that made you it made you think, not as guilty. I didn't do it on myself.
Yeah.
Do you feel you have to explain that, Ian?
Yes.
Do you tell people it's a lung cancer that's not caused by smoking?
Yes. Yeah. Because a lot of people knew I used to smoke.
Yeah.
And I used to ride it at first. I can't now. And I look at life totally different. I'm not a person who likes to argue or contradict people, but I do now.
Good. Yeah. That's really good. Because nobody, smoker or not, nobody deserves cancer.
No.
It's like saying to somebody who's got stomach cancer, well, did you eat? I mean, it's nothing to do with it. No. Cancer happens whether you're a smoker or not, and we need to move away from that whole guilt thing.
It's a stigma straight away.
It's
the thing they ask you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've been there. I understand, and it's appalling, really.
Yeah.
Well, Roy Castle never smoked, did he?
No,
he never smoked.
No.
My mum never, and died of ovarian cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Never touched a cigarette in her life.
Yeah. I never smoked, but I had it, so it's not to do with smoking or not smoking.
It's guilt. It's guilt with.
It is, and that's a real shame because you're going through so much. Yeah. When you get diagnosed, you don't need guilt on top of it. That's just not fair.
Yeah. You don't need anybody saying that to you, do you?
Exactly.
People would never say it to anybody else, would they? With any other cancers.
No.
But they don't.
You're right there, Mandy. Yeah.
No, they wouldn't.
No, because
that's cancer in the tonsil of the blood or anything. They don't say, well, what have you done? Have you taken drugs?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because smoking does cause lots and lots of other types of cancer, but it is only lung cancer that it's ever asked about.
Yes.
So it's something that the charity that we pride ourselves on being the UK's only lung cancer charity that supports everyone affected. There are other charities that support specific types of lung cancer, but we're there for everyone, and we're there for everyone without judgment. And for us, and part of This Is Lung Cancer campaign, it's trying to reposition what lung cancer is in people's heads. desperately just need to move away from this archaic stereotype of it being a smoker's disease, because it isn't. Yes, your risk is heightened if you smoke or have smoked, but you are not immune if you have never smoked.
Exactly.
And to be perfectly honest, I'm absolutely bloody sick of saying it. But I will keep saying it until people finally take notice.
Do you think that's why a lot of people, why I offered to do this and help with Roy Castle at Christmas on the Light of Hope and all like that, is to get people to go for a scan.
Yeah.
I think
the stupid thing is just that it takes you 5 minutes. It's as the car park. You can go and do your shopping, whip into. You're not even in there for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Ian, was you actually invited for the first scan, or did you just walk into the mobile unit on the car park?
Invited, because we were ex-smokers.
Right.
Yeah. So the way screening works currently, as it's being rolled out across England. Now it's been given the green light by the National Screening Committee. It's for people 55 to 74 with a smoking history, because they're at the highest risk.
Yes.
And the way we see it is it's very much a starting point. As we learn more about other risk factors with lung cancer, potentially, and hopefully that criteria will grow in the same way that the bowel cancer age criteria has changed over recent years.
Yeah.
So you do need to be invited. You can't just, see the CT scan in the Asda car park and go, oh, can I have one of these?
Can I have a go?
Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way, and people are invited. And it doesn't matter if you still smoke or if you smoked 40 years ago. If it's on your medical history, you will automatically receive your invitation when it rolls into your area. And like I say, it's just gradually rolling around kind of England at the moment. We've got the green light for screening in Wales now, which is fantastic.
Brilliant, yeah.
We're still kind of debating what's going on up in Scotland. We're hoping that there's going to be a pilot programme launching there soon, and hopefully similar in Northern Ireland. There's some research going out there at the moment. But in England, it's kind of full steam ahead.
Yeah.
And it is, like I said at the beginning, it is turning things on its head. It's seeing 75% of people, 3/4 of people with lung cancer through screening are caught early.
Yeah.
That's 3/4 is
3/4. It's totally percent. Yes, because outside of screening, it's practically the opposite. 2/3 of people are caught late.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is massive. And, Susan, you were one of those that were caught so early that you weren't actually diagnosed until they'd taken it out. A bit like Ian.
I was sort of on the operating table the surgeon waiting for the results of the biopsy to come back.
Yes.
Before he could proceed. It was only once I was on the operating table and they got the results back, confirmed it was cancer, consequently took a section of the lung out and a couple of lymph nodes.
Yeah.
Stage 1, thankfully. No symptoms whatsoever. I felt a fraud going for the scan because I have no symptoms. The cost of the NHS scan, I shouldn't really go because I felt so guilty.
Yeah.
A previous smoker had stopped, I don't know, 7-8 years ago. It was a while ago. I don't keep track.
Yeah.
And I have no symptoms, and I just felt guilty. But I went for it. Again, like yourself, I was invited. Yes.
You did?
Yeah. What would be the results if I had the outcome if I'd never been invited with no symptoms?
Yes.
Would I still be here now? Nobody knows. Would I be stage 4 now? Yeah. Nobody knows. If they hadn't have caught me so early, not only that, the potential cost saving to the NHS, if I'd have been stage 2, 3 and 4, it would cost thousands and thousands more to try and get me to recovery than the stage 1.
That's why I think they've got to roll it out. It's got to be a cost saving. And anything cost saving, the government will go with.
Lung cancer screening is saving lives. with 75% of those diagnosed caught at an early stage. Lung cancer screening is currently available to people aged 55 to 74 who have ever smoked. If that's you, you'll automatically be invited once screening rolls into your area. For more information, visit roycastle.org/screening. I mean, let's talk about family then. Susan, because I remember you didn't tell your husband you were going to the test at the beginning, did you? Not for fear or anything. You were absolutely convinced there was nothing wrong.
That's right. I was convinced they're not going to find anything. And you worry more about your partner, whoever, you worry more about them than you do yourself.
Yes.
I had no symptoms. I didn't smoke. And my husband, he works 5 days a week, long hours. And I thought, if I tell him I'm going, he's going to worry. And then I'm going to get a letter or a phone call, however, 2 or 3 weeks later to say, oh, no, you're fine, everything's hunky-dory. It would have put him through that worry, which would have worried me worrying about him, if you understand.
Yep.
So, no, I never told him about anything about it. As far as David, my husband, knew, I'd gone shopping.
You're multitasking.
I was. It was only once I got the letter saying, you've got to go for a scan. Didn't tell him then. Then I got a letter saying that I have to see a consultant because they'd seen a shadow on my left lung. I thought, now's perhaps the time to tell him. And it was only then when I told him. And by rights, he worried, which I knew would happen.
Yeah.
Of course. So, how did your wife take it, Ian?
See? And the kids, the 2 kids, they both work for the NHS. One of them still does. Yeah, my oldest daughter still does. So, yeah, still shocked.
And were they worried? Are you okay, Dad? Is everything all right, Dad?
Yeah. It affects them. Well, I think you go through it as a whole family. It's not just you going through it, because I couldn't have done it without the whole family and kids and everything.
Honestly. You need that support.
Oh, yeah. They've got to, I mean, me and Lynn were lucky because we're retired. They've still got to carry on with a young family, kids, go to work, and the worry about me.
Yeah.
Isn't it? And that's what makes you feel guilty.
Yeah. I was the opposite. I had 3 children. The 2 boys were, oh, you'll be fine, Mum, you'll be fine. And I come to the conclusion they were saying that to stop me thinking, you don't worrying. Stop me worrying. You'll be fine, Mum. Everything will be all right. The daughter, the other hand, Jennifer, she's 40. Don't say this wrong, I'm 44.
Yeah.
I think she might be annoyed you said her age on a podcast anyway, to be honest.
It was 3 years ago, so she was younger then. She was really, really worried. She tried to tell me off. Because I was in her words, I was being flippant because I wasn't worried.
Yeah.
Because it was just a shadow. There was no diagnosis then. So she was really, really worried. And it turned out there was no reason to worry because everything's, because it was caught at stage 1, caught early. I'm here to tell the tale.
Well, I want to go back to the Liverpool Heart and Chest to see my surgeon Joe, because when he advised us, because they couldn't find anything with the biopsy, but he advised us that lung cancer and they're quite rapid, and it's only small now and it's grown a little bit. He advised us to have the operation, so I did.
Mm-hmm.
And he not 100%, but he said, but that'll be it. He was absolutely gutted, telling me and my wife that it had gone into my lymph nodes and I needed chemotherapy. Now I want to go back and see him a year later and go, look, Joe, I'm here.
I'm still here.
I'm riding my bike. Thank you.
Fighting fit.
Yeah. He knew he was a bike rider. I got emotional then. But I just want to go back and say thank you. I did anyway when we left, and we got them some presents and chocolates and all like that and cards, but I want to go back and see him myself.
You should
You
do.
can do that.
You should do. I bet he would absolutely love that.
I'd love to go back and see him.
You should do it.
You seem very emotional, Ian. Is that how you feel about it when you talk about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky to be here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Three Joes in my life. Joe the surgeon, Joe the nurse who used to give me the chemotherapy, and Joe, I've got a counsellor who I go and see every week. Three Joes in my life. Who'd
Angels.
Yeah, who would think that? Three Joes. And then for you to do it on the night of me, on the year.
Yeah.
So we're recording this episode, and it's exactly a year since Ian had his surgery.
Wow.
Yeah, 23rd. 23rd. And I just think three Joes. Why you couldn't know that? How could you?
No.
Susan, you said the word flippantly, like your daughter was annoyed that you were quite flippant. Wouldn't it be a wonderful place if you could just be flippant about cancer, because it's caught so early all the time? Wouldn't that be a dream place to get to? And I don't mean that lightly,
No.
because I know it's awful, and it's awful for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I interviewed, as part of the This Is Lung Cancer campaign, I interviewed a guy called William, who was also diagnosed through screening, actually. He was caught early, had treatment, had surgery, and then unfortunately he has had recurrence, and it's come back at stage 3, and he's on chemo and immunotherapy now. But he's still incredibly positive. And he actually says in his interview, we call it the big C. Everyone's got this so much fear around it. And it's
fear, yeah.
All built up in his head. And he went, for me, and I understand it's not the same for everyone, but for me, it kind of wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. And it sounds like it was the same for you. When we've talked before, you've had the surgery before you found out. So it's hard to get your head around going, well, I had lung cancer, but I didn't even know I had it before they took it away. So have I even really had it?
Exactly.
What an amazing place that we could potentially get to, where we could be a bit more flippant, and it isn't the big C. It's the C, or the little C, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. It's not as horrendous as it can be currently to some people.
You just mention cancer.
Yeah.
You mentioned the big C.
Yeah.
And people are frightened straight away.
Yeah.
They're scared. They're really, oh my God, I'll have to do my will. I'm going to die. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
It's getting to a stage, the more lung cancer screening you do, the more positive results like myself and Ian there will be, and hopefully impact less fear amongst other people, because we're here. It's, it's fear. Yeah.
There's 3 of us on the programme tonight.
So we're not frightened. I'm not frightened. One thing I will add, and I don't know if this is the right time, but when I had the scan, it also brought up a problem with my bowel. So the screening also can throw up other issues. So I'm being monitored for there's cancerous cells in my bowel, so I'm being monitored for that as well.
Yeah.
So
you're being monitored for it early on. Fantastic.
Exactly. I'm having colonoscopy. Whoa, that's worse. That's up the bum. That's it. Get on with it.
Yeah.
The procedure's absolutely
too much information.
Anyway, we digress. But it's the fear of the word cancer.
Yeah. It is such a loaded word.
Yeah.
It's such a loaded word.
Yeah.
I was convinced, and also lung cancer, because it's got such a bad rap, and because people are so often diagnosed at stage 3 or 4.
Yes.
That, the minute I heard lung cancer, having lost my mum 2 months before I was diagnosed, I just thought, that's it. There's no way I'm going to see. I was 47 at the time. There's no way I'm going to see 50.
Yeah.
I'm 57 now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Incredible. When the word was first said to me. So, yeah, I think, and the more screening we can do, like you say, Rachel, have you got I don't know if you've got latest figures. You might not have in terms of how many people have been caught at 1 and 2 over.
So I believe off the top of my head, about 8,000 people, over 8,200 people have been diagnosed through the programme, and then 75% of those have been caught early, stage 1 and 2.
My dad died of lung cancer in 2006. He had no symptoms, and the week before he was due to retire, the retirement age then was 65, he collapsed, was sent to hospital, did tests, had lung cancer. He was dead in a couple of months, no symptoms, no screening. They didn't do that then. No. And my mum's passed us away as well, about 5 years ago now, 6 years. If my mum had still been alive, if she'd got wind that I'd had cancer, she would have been so devastated. I would have to spend all my time trying to calm him down.
Comfort her.
You know, just because she would be so worried.
Don't you think in past, like my mum, my dad, Lynn's mum and dad have all died of cancer, don't you think in I hope in my grandchildren's era that the word cancer will be mentioned, and it'll just be like a sore throat and you go and get something and it'll be done.
Yeah.
I really hope so. Yeah, I really hope so.
I hope so.
We've lived in an era, especially me, I'm 66 in December, I've lived in an era where anybody got cancer was, well, you've signed a death warrant, you're gone.
That's what the word means. When you hear it, you think that's it. I need to get my estate in order. I need to work out what I'm doing. I need to work out who I'm giving my handbags to. You know, it's all that kind of thing. I was just worried my husband would find out what I really paid for them, not what I told him.
Oh, God, no. Well, it won't matter if you don't. We won't matter. Didn't they used to say that 1 in 5 you will get cancer? Now they say it's 1 in 2. But is that because they didn't have the screening available years ago? Or the tests or the treatments?
It's the mix of them,
I think this is what frightens people. 1 in 2, that's scary. But if 1 in 2 is caught at stage 1, it's no biggie. It's dealt with.
Exactly. They say 1 in 2 are going to get some kind of cancer, will be diagnosed, but they don't say 1 in 2 will die of that cancer.
Yeah,
because there is screening, and there is also the treatments that have come so far. And gosh, since the time that I had lung cancer, you know, you said you were on the table and they were looking at the biopsies while you were still waiting to see what happened. I had to have 2 surgeries because they didn't think it was lung cancer. So I had to have the first surgery. They stitched me up, sent me home. And then 3 weeks later, I came back to find out I was stage 3B.
Wow.
So I had to do it again because
they didn't.
That biopsy work wasn't available at that time so far. Yeah. Even 7, 8 years ago.
Wow. So, they come on so much then. It's trying to get rid of the fear from people. Yeah. It's the fear.
And it's fear to go for the test, isn't it? Sorry, Rachel, but it's, you know, you get a letter through, you know, you get your bowel cancer test at a certain age. My husband just had his lung cancer screening letter through today, and I did a little dance.
Yeah.
I was hopefully helped in some way to getting that on, you know, that going a few years ago. So we did a proper little dance around the room. I've never done that with screening, but if it wasn't for me, would he go? I don't know, but he knows obviously what I've been through, and he's already phoned the doctor and got his appointment in, because don't be scared, because it's much scarier the longer you leave it. So go for that test. You know, that's a message we've got to get out, isn't it? If you get any kind of cancer screening offered to you, do it.
Do it. My husband's just been invited. Same story as yours, Mandy. He went for he got the phone call, got invited, and he's not got the results yet. It was 3 weeks ago. But like I say, no news is good news, because I'd heard straight away. And he treated it as if, I don't know, I'm just going shopping, because he just went, had the scan and come back. And I think because he could see how I was, if they catch it early, everything's fine.
Exactly that.
And the same with the children. I've told them they must make a note on to tell their GP, so the GP can put it on their notes that their mother had it and the grandfather had it, and so on. But the kids now, because only one of them smokes part-time, the other two think it's disgusting. And it's, as you both said, you and Rachel, it's not related to smoking.
Yeah. I never smoked.
It's guilt though with smoking.
Now we're running out of the odds down smoking, don't we?
Yeah, it's guilt.
Yeah, the odds will go up, Sally, yeah.
It's not about the smoking, it's about if you've got lungs, you can get lung cancer.
Exactly.
If you get a chance to go for a scan, or if you've got a cough which persists and a one dose of antibiotics hasn't really helped, or if you get an offer to go for a scan for screening, then go. Or if you are, at the doctor's with a cough that won't go, ask your doctor for a chest X-ray, because anybody can get it, and that's a message that we always concentrate on, isn't it, Rach?
Yeah. It is, and it is just worth flagging again that currently screening is only available to people with a smoking history, and I know that frustrates people, particularly people who have lung cancer who have never smoked.
Never smoked.
It feels like there's a bit of an injustice there. The reason for that is because all the research we have so far, and because lung cancer has been underfunded for research for historically, that's what the research is telling us to screen the most high-risk people. But as I said earlier, the more we learn, the more research, the more money that is put into lung cancer research, the more we better understand the other causes, then there's absolutely no reason why that criteria can't expand and more people won't be invited. Yeah. We funded a research project a couple of years ago out of the Christie in Manchester, and it looked at, it's either I think it's Hodgkin lymphoma survivors or non-Hodgkin. I think it is Hodgkin lymphoma survivors. Apologies if I've got that wrong. But Hodgkin lymphoma survivors have their biggest cause of death. One of their biggest causes of death is lung cancer. And so this research project, this pilot screening program, screened people who had survived Hodgkin's lymphoma, and we detected lung cancers from it. We found a couple of lung cancers in quite a small cohort of people who were in the pilot. They've now gone on to get more funding to expand that, and they're in talks with the national team to see, could we build this into the criteria? So it's already happening, that development. I want people to know that it isn't, lung cancer screening, job done. There's still lots of work to do on screening itself, on expanding it, and then also alongside that in the symptomatic pathway diagnosis. Yeah. But Susan, you were talking before, and you were saying, the longer this screening program goes on, the more people we get through, the more people we get diagnosed. And then as time goes on, those statistics about, 1 year survival, 5 year survival, 10 year survival, particularly the 10 year survival with lung cancer, has remained so stubbornly low. Mm-hmm. Actually, fast forward 10 years, 20 years, those figures start to look very different, and then all of a sudden the perception of our lung cancer is, people are living with it. People can live a long and happy life with it. Mm-hmm. It's that's the shift that we're trying to get across now with the This Is Lung Cancer campaign.
Yeah. I think it's like Mandy said. They did a little dance because her husband got the invite. If you get the invite, you should celebrate it. Brilliant. I got the invite, I'm going. Yeah. You should celebrate it. If you're lucky enough to get
it. Yeah.
Yes. Do a little dance, as Mandy did, round your living room and go and get your scan.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I do. That's what I did. I offered to do the podcast and everything to get people to go and for a scan.
Good. Oh, I thought you were going to say you offered to do a dance for us. I'll give that a miss.
I would have. No, it's like people live for years and years and years with prostate cancer. If you had that years ago, you didn't stand a chance of the same as, but live with tablets now. I know people who've had prostate cancer for about 15 years living with tablets, so we'll get to the same. I hope we do.
Well, and that's the ultimate. Well, the ultimate aim is to get as many people diagnosed early and cured as possible. That's the ultimate aim. But the other side of it is being able to manage later stage disease like a chronic illness
Yes.
where they just take a tablet and it's controlled and it's stable and the cancer just kind of goes to sleep.
Yes.
You're never cured of it, but you can still crack on with your life. And, you know, we're already seeing huge improvements there as well with targeted therapies. People are living, you know, many, many years on these new therapies. So hopefully that will only continue.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Help change the lung cancer narrative and show your support for our This Is Lung Cancer campaign. Spread the word in your local community, join us at an awareness event, or share the campaign on social. You can help someone spot lung cancer symptoms earlier, and that could change everything. Get involved by visiting roycastle.org/This Is Lung Cancer. I'd like to just kind of have a little chat to you both about kind of what life has been like. You know, you've benefited from early detection, or, you know, Ian, I know yours was stage 3, but it's still early enough to be treatable. Tell us a little bit about kind of how life looks at the moment. Has it changed much?
Yeah. Look at life different. Definitely look at life different.
In what way?
Life is precious. Life is precious, isn't it? Very precious.
A bit more aware of your own mortality, I guess.
Yeah.
Enjoy the small things.
With not having any symptoms, it was like a bit of a shock, isn't it? I think if you were coughing and you were coughing up blood and whatever, your mind had come round it, oh, there is something wrong. But if you 2 days before I had my lung operation, I did 40 miles on my bike with my friend.
Couldn't even do 4.
No, and it just never bothered. I mean, they didn't want me to go for a ride because it was that near to an operation. But you just do it, and you just think, the outlook at life's different. Life's precious.
And are you still cycling now?
Yeah. I've got a peripheral nerve disease in me feet and chest, from the chemotherapy, and I've had to get hearing aids. Me inner ears, it's damaged me in the lobes, but I just think I'm here. Put up with a bit of pain in your feet, can't you?
I don't mind me asking, Ian, how old are you?
66 in December.
Oh, young whippersnapper. I'm 67.
Very well.
I love going up on the bike. I bought an electric bike now. I've cheated. I bought an electric bike.
I've got one, pedal assist.
Yeah. It's just my feet.
Up the hill.
Yeah, my feet hurt, and my legs haven't got the strength as it used to have. Just your muscles have. But I'm here doing it. I don't do it as often as I used to, but I could still get out once or twice a week.
Yeah, brilliant.
Definitely. Love it. Fresh air, you fill your lungs. Yeah.
That's it.
The big thing,
fresh air.
And the big thing was walking your daughter down the aisle. You know, you say you appreciate small things, but you were here for the big one as well.
Well, yeah, that was. I get emotional when I think of that.
Oh, yeah,
today.
Yeah, there's a little picture.
Let's have a look.
Oh yeah.
That's on the Castle.
Listeners won't be able to see it, but if you go on the website, you'll see the picture.
That's on the Light of Hope.
Yeah, well, so we'll talk about the Lights of Hope in a minute, because you very kindly we wrote you into that as well. This podcast.
Only people get the scans.
You get in with us, and we never let you go. Mandy first got involved 6 years ago, and she can't trick me.
Don't care. I owe it to you.
Susan, just tell us about your life since, because has there been a difference?
No, not whatsoever. Purely because it's just like it's all so surreal. It all happened so quickly, from getting a phone call inviting me for the scan, having the scan, having a PET scan, having an operation, being told you've got cancer, you're home 5 days later, and I'm no different to what I was 2 weeks before. It's like, did this really happen? It was just so quick. That's the thing. It was so quick. The early diagnosis saved my life, basically, because
Absolutely did.
it was just so quick. So, has it changed my life? No, because it's like it never happened. It was so quick. Not like yourself, Ian. I didn't have to have chemotherapy or anything. They stitched me up after the operation, and that was it. No, it's not changed me, really. I'm always singing the praises. If you get an invite, for goodness sake, go.
Yeah.
You know, just go. I couldn't stress it enough. But
I can't.
My life's not changed in the slightest.
And that's good, though, isn't it?
Because it's brilliant.
Because your life hasn't changed, and it was almost like, I mean, I'm not making little of this because I've been through it, but for you, it was almost like having a tooth out.
Yeah,
you went in and you got it.
In fact, being fair,
and I've been where Ian's been and where you've been. But for somebody, what I'm trying to stress is for somebody who's discovered at stage 1 through the screening, it's a very, very easy process. If you you're not unlucky like Ian has been, or I was, you know. But even then, we're still here.
Yeah.
But for somebody at stage 1, they can just whip it out. Did you have keyhole surgery as well?
That's it. This is, yeah.
Yeah. So it's keyhole surgery. You're out. You need to rest. Obviously, it's a big operation, even though it's keyhole. But your life has gone back to normal completely, and that's even almost better. It's almost like it never happened.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You get incredible.
You get a 5-year plan. They monitor you for 5 years after.
Right.
And I've had regular scans, and my operation was 3 years ago, September, just last month. In fact, my next scan, same as yours, Ian, my next scan's in January. So that gives anyone that would be worried, it gives you ongoing peace of mind.
Yeah, it does.
It really does.
Am I right in remembering that was it about a couple of weeks after your surgery, you went to your stepson's wedding? Have I remember that correctly?
Yes, I got all dolled up and I was off to Yorkshire. I did have to wear trousers because I had support stockings on. And I wasn't flashing them to anybody. But yeah, 2 weeks later, I was in the car. My husband drove us to Yorkshire. Beautiful, beautiful wedding for Sean, my eldest stepson. Yeah, 2 weeks later, it's like my life had never changed.
Incredible. 2 weeks
really
later.
And 2 weeks later.
I was making, obviously.
Yeah.
Breaking it to balls.
I still have the drain in my chest then.
I was out boogieing. Well, not quite boogieing, but I had a nice meal at the wedding.
Yeah, and I think we don't want to sound flippant. I know there's people that listen to this podcast who have stage 4 lung cancer, and by no means are we making light of it.
Oh no,
we get that.
Yeah.
But what the point is a early stage 1 diagnosis
through the screen
is a very, very different experience to what people perceive having lung cancer to be. And I think that's the point that we're trying to make, amongst all the jokes. But it's important to have your sense of humour. Goodness me, if you don't laugh at these things, what else are you going to do sometimes?
Yeah.
But I would hate for anyone listening to think we're making light. But that's where we want to get to. We want to get to a point where cancer isn't necessarily the heartbreak and the big deal that it can be for a lot of people. We want to have more people, Susan, like you specifically, where it's whipped out and 2 weeks later, you might show your stockings, or you're just getting on with your life.
Yeah.
You're still paddleboarding, aren't you?
Yeah, still with me paddleboarding, everything.
So she's off paddleboarding after surgery and all
a lot.
Yeah.
It's just a shame the lung cancer screening wasn't available in my dad's time. As I say, he had stage 4. He never even got to retire.
It's sad.
It's, yeah. So this,
you get the other side of it as well.
I get both sides.
Your story shows ultimately what we're trying to get across, and that's progress. Yeah.
It is. I mean, look, my mum died a few months before I was diagnosed, so that was that wasn't long ago. Mm-hmm. She had stage 4 lung cancer, and it wasn't available for her, but she smoked, so she would have been a prime. Yeah, she would have got that invitation. She was only 69.
Wow.
So she would have got that invitation, and she would have gone, and they would have found it at stage 1 or 2 and not stage 4, where they could do nothing about it. So I'm not remotely being flippant, because I went through a lot when I had my lung cancer. Yeah. So there's no flippancy about it. But when we look at you and take your stage 1 diagnosis and how it was dealt with, it fills me with joy. It really does, that we have come so far in just a decade, and it's got to carry on.
That's why we can't let the rollout slow down.
No.
Otherwise, there will be people who will miss out. So there'll be people who will be diagnosed at stage 4 who could have been diagnosed at stage 1.
Yeah, absolutely right. Mm. That's all.
Just before we go, Ian, I just want to talk a little bit about Lights of Hope. So this is a service we do at Christmas time, and again, it's another example of progress and how lung cancer is changing, because we used to do a more kind of commemorative event called Celebrate a Life, and it was all about remembering people that we'd lost. But as we start to see those numbers change of people who are living well for longer or surviving lung cancer, we decided to do a bit of a shift, and we've now called it Lights of Hope. So obviously we have Talk of Hope that we're on right now, and now we've got Lights of Hope. So it's a lovely kind of Christmas get together where, obviously we will still remember those that we've lost, but we will also celebrate the people that are still here and the progress that's being made. So Ian, you're part of the service at St George's Hall in Liverpool this year.
Yeah. They've made me guest of honour.
Guest of honour. Are you turning on our Christmas lights?
Yeah, they've made me, and do a little piece on me, and my 2 daughters are going to do a reading. My oldest daughter does poems. She does poems that I think they've just put one on your social media today for the year.
Lovely.
She's done a couple of poems and a little, the TikTok things and everything. She's done a couple of them. And they're going to do a reading for me. I wouldn't be able to talk. I'll be too emotional.
Yeah.
Too emotional. I never thought I'd get there, but...
Fantastic.
I'm there. I'm just made up to be there, actually.
I'm made up by Ian.
I feel it as an honour.
It is.
Yeah.
And we're honoured to have you there because of where, how you are. Your story. So we're honoured that you're going to be there.
A living proof. Living proof.
Exactly that.
Tis.
I think a beautiful way to end this incredibly fun and incredibly positive episode of Talk of Hope. I said before, we're not being flippant. We're celebrating the progress that is being made. And, the 3 of you, and, Mandy includes you in this, you're all incredible demonstrations of that progress, and long may it continue, and long may we have more and more people who continue to get through a diagnosis and continue to enjoy the wonderful lives that they have.
I second that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Lovely to speak to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Nice to meet you, Andy and Rachel.
Lovely to meet you. Bye.
Bye.
You have been listening to Talk of Hope from Roycastle Lung Cancer Foundation. For support and advice about any of the topics covered in this podcast, visit roycastle.org. Talk of Hope is a fortnightly podcast with new episodes released every other Tuesday. Like and subscribe to make sure you never miss an episode.